That's extra stupid.
I'd like to call to order a special meeting of the Summer Board of Selectmen. Today is Thursday, April 3rd, 2025. We're in the Selectmen's conference room. To start off the meeting, please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So this evening we have Selectman Schmidt on my right, Selectman Meyer on my left, Brian Wissinger, our CFO, Mike Marinaccio, our Assistant Treasurer, Todd Rowland, our Director of Public Works and Land Use, Maureen Parcell, Director of Recreation and Leisure Services, and Kim LaFleur, Director of Operations. So public comment, we have no public here this evening. Presentations by First Selectman, I don't have anything this evening. Just a reminder, I guess, of the meeting we have. Is it a town meeting on April 21st?
Public hearing.
Public hearing.
April 22nd.
April 22nd.
Public hearing? Okay, on the budget.
That's the Board of Finance public hearing.
Board of Finance public hearing, yep.
Okay, we'll put that in.
I just sent the notice to the JI today, and it'll be in the paper whatever next Friday is, April 11th, I think it is.
Okay, right.
What time is that? 7?
7 p.m.
Okay. Public hearing for the Board of Finance?
Public hearing on the budget by the Board of Finance.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Also, the budget flyer is being produced and should be in mailboxes next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Excellent.
Which will have all those dates on it as well.
That's important. Well, thank
Add
you.
that as well. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Consent agenda, boards and commissions, resignation of Dan Thayer from the Zoning Board of Appeals effective immediately. He wrote me a letter explaining he's got some hearing issues. Doesn't feel he can ethically carry out his duties as a member of the board. He can't hear anything. So, anyone want to make a motion to accept his resignation?
I have to make that motion to accept his resignation.
Second that.
Dan Thayer's resignation.
From the Zoning Board of Appeals, effective
Yeah,
immediately.
from the Zoning Board of Appeals. Yeah.
And I'll second that
Any
motion.
further discussion on the motion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you. Appointment of Sean Curtis to fill a vacancy by Dan Thayer on the Zoning Board of Appeals with a term expiring December 22nd, 2026.
I didn't see his letter in here.
There's no letter.
Oh,
It's just
okay. I
he
didn't
was
see
an
any letter.
alternate that was appointed a couple weeks ago, and he's proud. He's
Yeah, our
happy
last
to
meeting
serve,
we appointed him as an
Gotcha.
alternate.
as a
Gotcha.
full member.
So we need a motion on this.
Yeah, I have to make
Oh,
a
I'm
motion to appoint Sean Curtis to fill the vacancy of Dan Thayer on the Zoning Board of Appeals with a term expiring of 12/22/2026.
Second that.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in support say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Appointment of Sean Curtis to the Economic Development Commission with a term expiring 12/22/2028.
And there was something in there from Jim O'Hearn in that he would like to join the Economic Development Commission.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
busy guy.
Yeah, he's a busy guy. He's been in town for 4
I just
years,
got off the
3 or
phone
4
with him
years
10
now, and
minutes
we've talked to him several times. He's very interested in being involved. He's
It's
got
hard
a
to
very
find volunteers when
impressive-
you have one that wants to do multiple.
Impressive background and owns a home in town. Yeah.
All right, well, I'd have to make a motion to appoint Sean Curtis to the Economic Development Commission with a term expiring on 12/22/2026. 2028, I'm sorry.
Second that motion.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Finance Department transfers and appropriations none. CFO's report and update.
So the Board of Finance on March 27th adopted the operating budget. They did. It's the original operating budget that was proposed for the Board of Education The capital budget was reduced by $100,000. Town government was reduced by $70,000.
Schools.
The schools were held harmless. I'll present a list to you guys for the next meeting to formally adopt where the 70,000 in reductions will be, but for numbers purposes, we've plugged things in.
How much was the school reduction?
None.
None.
They were held harmless.
Okay, thank you.
So that was adopted. The budget flyer is going out. Like I said, it should be in everybody's mailbox next week. It is going to be large to catch people's attention. It's basically a 4-page issue of Summers Connects is really what it's going to boil down to.
Okay.
Have the cover. It's got a letter on one side from the Board of Finance explaining the budget, the revenues and expenditures and their breakdowns, and then the list of important dates. So it's really an 11 by 17 that's folded in half and will be 4 pages of information.
So this is coming to everybody's house?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
So that people should be expecting.
And when's that
next
going
week.
out?
Sometime next week.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the concerns I had was that their explanation I thought was a little bit inadequate for the public to really get an appreciation for what the situation is. So
Yeah,
we're going to add to it some additional comments that.
The Board of Selectmen can, when the Summers Connects goes out that they issue,
Right.
we can redraft that. Is really I looked at it as motivation for people to come out to the public hearing. The public hearing presentation in prior years has been very just kind of, here's a pie chart, here's some data. This year, with everything that's going on, the public hearing presentation is going to be very different, explaining, the cuts from state aid, explaining the reduction, the various
the environment.
public acts that were enacted and what their impacts were, and try to give people an understanding of why the budget is the way it is this year. This is the first time since 2012 that there's ever been more than a $1 million budget proposed. If you didn't have the public acts that were enacted and the cuts, you probably would have needed, $750 million.
So that's on the 22nd is the public
Yes.
hearing? Yeah, 22nd?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure I have the right date.
So
It's not next week.
we want people to understand that, a lot of this was brought on by things outside of our control, is really what it boils down to. And so the public hearing will focus more on that and explaining the things that we had no authority over, that we were just forced to deal with.
It's in about 2 weeks, not next week. Then.
It's not next week.
Yeah.
And then last week, we had the bond ratings call. Myself, Mike, Tim, and our financial and what would you call her, Mike?
Consultant.
Consultant. We're all on the call with S&P for an hour and a half. It was a decent time.
Hour and a half.
Meeting went the call went really well. We felt when we walked out of there, everything went really well. We got the rating today. Summers bond rating stayed the same, AA+, with a positive outlook. And like I said, you guys, the actual rating that we received, I just got it at about 3:30. So I haven't seen the official. I just saw the pre-notification so that we could make our comments. But now it's been fully issued. I'll send that out to all of you so you have a copy
the
of it.
official statement or whatever. She was thinking OS or whatever.
Not yet. The OS is
Okay.
This is just the ratings statement. But they did put a line in there that opens the door for the credit rating to go up in the future based on things that we had in our presentation that we see coming down the pipeline. Such as the Summersville Mill
Progress in
project.
economic development is what it comes
Yeah.
down to. Whether
So
we
the more we're
produce some of the stuff we're talking about.
the more we're building residential neighborhoods and pushing economic development, it does open the door for that
Workforce
credit
housing.
rating to go up in the future.
Let's hope so.
Well, nice job. Yeah.
In prior years, they have revamped the rating system, and it was funny because Mike's dealt with it his entire time here. Is we were never going to get higher than that because we don't have public transportation, we don't have airports, we don't have things like that.
Yeah, not
Those were
legal
the only,
laws.
but they revamped the rating system to make it a little bit more objectionable. So now they're giving us ideas of what we could do to improve that rating.
Well, we
So-
made a lot of improvements under you and Mike's tenure
Yeah,
in financial
absolutely.
policies,
Absolutely.
controls.
and they listed all that in their comments.
It's
and
huge.
It really was.
They also they also talked about keeping the fund balance stable.
Yep, stable fund balance.
Not using too much in 1 year
Yeah.
to balance
Yeah.
the budget.
Yep,
So that should be, I mean, that's not really a warning shot, but that should be a caution flag.
yep.
Yeah, so.
Well, nice work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Brian did a great job. Yeah.
It was a good phone call. First time I'd ever done one, and I got to admit, at times I was a little nervous during it, but it did go very
You
smoothly.
kept going. I was going to run out of gas. But you kept going. It was
Well, that's
awesome.
good.
Yeah. That's a big deal for the town.
Well, thank you for doing such a good job.
Presentation of scheduled payments.
Here. I'm happy to make a motion to approve the scheduled payments in the amount of $361,610.75.
Second that motion.
Any further discussion of the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Pending business, we have none. New business. Director Parcell. Go ahead, have a seat, please.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to steal your spot.
I won't touch the courthouse. Mess them up. Tonight I'm here to request your approval to offer Laura Morton an internship with the Recreation Department for this summer. Laura needs 400 hours to complete her internship to graduate. She is a Summers resident and is working towards a degree in sports management, and a role in recreation and leisure is a perfect fit for her to gain practical experience. Laura is available to start working in May, and we would like to offer her $20 an hour for the work she'll be doing for us this summer. Some of the duties that we have in mind for her include working with our camp director and assistant directors to plan, coordinate, and oversee the athletic activities within our day camp, preparing some of those daily schedules, maintaining supplies and equipment, and other related tasks as required. We have other camps as well that we'll be able to place her for some additional experience as well. We're very excited that she reached out to us, and we look forward to working with her this summer. I believe she will gain a great deal of experience within the camps that we offer, and I think that her education and experience, she has a lot to offer our community as well. We look forward to the support she can offer and the new ideas and perspectives that she will bring to our team.
So is this internship something new, or is this something we've had before?
No, this is a new position within our department, yes.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
And it is
Internships
something...
aren't new.
No.
Brian was an intern at one point. and
Sure
we've had
was.
very good luck in the finance department.
Danielle was an intern.
Including our Danielle. That's
Yeah, so
correct.
this is sort of an investment of...
Yeah.
Right.
It could
This
be.
this particular position is a new intern with us. We have had interns with us before. A couple of years ago, they worked on our top and kindergarten basketball program with us. They were students from Eastern. Laura is from Southern State Connecticut University. She has a pretty impressive resume. She also worked with Skyhawks, and we've also contracted with them. We contracted with Skyhawks a couple of years ago. We did a mini Hawks camp. It's a multiple sports, so they did soccer for a day, baseball for a day, flag football for a day, and she was the instructor for that week.
Nice.
But she's done.
She's got some impressive experience.
Yeah,
for
she sure does.
Yeah, she does.
And I love that she is a resident here from Summers.
That's even
So,
better.
yeah.
What's the total cost we're estimating for this?
So it's about
400 times 20, about 8,000.
How are we paying for it?
Rec fund is what I would.
Yes.
I mean, but we're not going to hire other camp staff though because we'll have her, right? I mean, we're going to pull $8,000 out of the rec fund.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
we're
her expense,
hiring other staff,
her expense would be charged to the rec fund.
but this is going to be part of the profit and loss for the summer camp then.
No. No.
No,
No.
not summer camp.
No. You were going to create a new line item for
Yeah, it
this
won't be
position.
directly because there will be other things that she would be doing, not directly with summer camp. But yes,
So we were told we didn't have enough money to include one of our staff in the
we
rec
didn't.
fund.
Have, we
this
didn't
year.
have 40. We didn't have 42,000.
Well,
to
what's
it.
half of his salary?
21 or so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we didn't have 21,000, but we have 8,000.
I never said we didn't have 21,000. I said we didn't have enough to support the full salary.
Well, I had proposed half though.
Yeah, but that never made it out of the Board of Selectmen. The rest of the board didn't move that forward.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
I mean, I think we still got to make sure we have a I think this needs to go into the profit and loss for the camps. This $8,000. I mean, I don't know how we do it outside of that. I mean, otherwise it's an unbudgeted position. I mean, I'm good with adding interns. Like, I think it's a good pipeline. I think she's well qualified. I think she's, but I think we got to be a little
How do
careful.
you account for it?
I think we got to be a little careful because it's not a budget appropriation. And I mean, we had talked about the rec fund not being a quote unquote slush fund. You know, that it needs to be
I think it's
matching revenue with expenses.
I think it comes out of the projected overall rec fund profits for the year. They're just going to be, $8,000.
The
you
services,
said this
services
in the
being
past.
provided are within the scope of the rec fund.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something.
No, I would
that-
agree with that.
And I would recommend going forward that annually, reach out to these schools around
Which
you.
is
Even
exactly what we're doing.
WNE, Bay Path, anybody who I don't know who all has these types of programs, but to make it a standing in the January timeframe, that's when a lot of these kids are preparing for
It's part of a
They-
recruiting
right,
program.
and put it out there and get make it a standing
Yeah, we
item
absolutely will.
every year.
And
to
once
have.
we have the contacts for their advisors, we'll stay in touch with them. I asked her if their professors or advisors tell them to go to their local municipalities, and she said no. Where they're directing them are to places like Yard Goat, some of the larger
the big
places.
ones.
Yeah.
So I said, go back to your professors and advisors and tell them, go to your local municipalities. They need help.
Right.
It's just
Yard
hard to
goats
get paid, though. I mean, a lot of municipalities aren't willing to pay. That's the issue. They'll take
There's
interns, but
a
they're not
lot
willing.
that are willing to pay in the summertime, and they need help. And they're getting down into the dirt where they are learning a lot from a rec department.
Well, but a lot of them will put them into a spot they would have otherwise for like the summer camp.
Right.
You know, that's how the municipality would justify it. It's a budgeted position in the
Right.
summer camp. It's matched against revenue.
Right.
It's not kind of an extra.
Right.
So, okay.
Right.
I make a motion
maybe
to
in
approve
the
it.
future they should sub in instead of the assistant director.
Exactly. That's exactly where I think we bring this.
Right.
So, in addition, what I'm hoping she's going to do is hold other programs this summer with some of the kids. That's part of what she has to do for her internship is create some programs, and that's what I'm hoping she can do. Is so take some of the older kids, set them aside, bring them, and create some of those programs with those.
Would it be
kids.
part of the camp, though? Would it be a separate
Yeah.
program?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So make a motion to approve the seasonal sports coordinator intern Laura Morton, the hourly rate of $20 an hour. Start date of May 5th, 2025. What's the end date?
400 hours from there.
Okay, for a total of 400 hours. Not to exceed.
Yeah.
For a total not to
I mean,
exceed
that's
400
10
hours.
weeks.
Yeah. I'll second that.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in support say aye.
Aye.
My motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maureen, you've got another one too here.
Yeah, a couple.
Seasonal intern description.
So this is just the job description that goes along with this internship.
Okay, fine.
I think this is pretty.
Yeah, I see the position. Now, this is her bio, right?
Yes. Yep. So I'm just requesting approval for the job description for the sports coordinator intern.
Yeah. That's good, Maureen.
And again, we hope, to continue with this position in the future.
This was reviewed by Human Resources and approved by them?
It was.
Okay. Make a motion to approve the job description for sports coordinator as presented.
Second.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. Thank you, Maureen.
And then last one.
Last one.
One more.
Okay, so tonight I'd also like to request that the Board of Selectmen approve and sign the 3 music licenses before you so that the town of Somers is compliant when playing music at public events, inside municipal buildings, and at town-sponsored activities and events. The licenses were already sent to Carl Landolina for review, and he found them acceptable as is. Purchasing these licenses will cost approximately $1,500 annually.
You don't already have these somewhere else in town?
No.
I thought the library did.
They have video. They don't
They
have
have
audio.
movie licenses.
Now, this will be a town-wide license? then?
Yeah, so audio works for the municipality as a whole. Video is per location. So the library has one. Senior Center has a video license.
Okay, so senior tax, I know they've done other licenses. with
Right,
that.
so the video licenses are different.
Okay.
The audio licenses are annual and cover the entire municipality.
So there's no duplication here?
No.
So we're playing that much music.
And this covers like
Well, this is
concerts on the green in the summer.
Oh,
Should
good.
that
You're
mean
playing-
then we don't hire a non-union band? Because this is the union?
What?
Don't hire a non-union band. They're paying for them. If you hire a union band, they belong to the union, then everybody belongs to ASCAP or BMI. Instead of hiring some guy who's non-union. And then you're paying to have
So
him play
it's
music.
not just concerts in the park.
Yeah,
It's
it's-
if you're
Well,
playing.
I understand
if
that,
you're
but I'm
playing-
saying that's one element where I think you're at higher risk than anything else.
Than like putting a radio on at camp and playing Bon Jovi.
All of our
you
fitness.
you can
Yeah.
play radios anywhere and not have to worry about this license.
That is not what I.
Well,
Well,
my
that's what he
under-
says in the letter. He says that it's okay to have radio music on.
When we have our holiday festival and we have a DJ.
Well,
and
now
we're
that's
playing
different. You're having a
music
DJ
for
play.
fitness classes, things like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not trying to be a
No.
pain in the
One thing
That's
Mike's
okay.
point though is, do you make
Yeah.
the DJ have the license, or do you make the fitness instructor have the license versus the town holding the license? I think that's your point. Same
Yeah,
with the band,
and
right?
he's not saying, he's like speaking very softly to you at the end. Do the right thing. Do the right thing by the law. It's like, please comply with us because we have no way of enforcing this, and you're just a little town of Somers. And
So I did reach out to my colleagues across the country who all said that they have all 3 of these licenses.
Yeah.
So
I would say yes.
I brought
It depends
this
on
to your
have you taken an
attention.
inventory of the kind of music you play, and is it worth $1,500 worth of licenses?
No.
That's the only question. I
So
have.
I wanted to bring this to your attention to make sure that we are compliant. I want to make
So
sure
the
I'm
bottom,
compliant
the bottom
if I
line
have
is that we
music.
haven't had a license for
No, we
this
have
music in the past.
No, I think it's a good
And
idea.
we've been vulnerable because of that. But
Good idea.
how are we vulnerable?
We are vulnerable because we are violating copyright
We need to
laws.
first find out about that. I mean, we've been vulnerable for
Yes.
15 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So it would be the same thing if we didn't have a movie license. There's risk there if we didn't have a movie license
I
either.
can- I
If we
can
got
see that.
caught, same. It would be the same.
How often is music played that you have to pay royalties on that it's not coming over a radio?
Well, we have fitness classes every single week, twice a week.
And somebody who gives the fitness class walks in with a CD player and puts in their music.
Mm-hmm.
Why should the town be paying the royalty on that? That person should be paying the royalty on what they are doing. They're usually making
Part of their
money by
presentation.
doing that.
Yeah.
So you should say to them, do you have a license agreement for the music you're playing? No.
Kind of like liability insurance. Like we
Yeah.
require them to have liability
Yeah.
insurance if they come in.
I think it's
You're taking on the responsibility for somebody who's coming in here, probably, just like Bill says, is charging people to play on your tennis court. Well, they're charging you, and they get away without having to pay any license fee on the music they're playing. They're probably not even aware that they need to do that.
I think this works out,
Right.
though. It makes it more flexible, though, and makes it happen.
And when the guy says this is very complicated, he's right. It is very. The whole law is very complicated and
Right.
confusing.
Well, I think that's why she's doing it, make it easy.
Yeah, if you want
start
to, if they
requiring
want
people
to,
to
if you
have
want
these
to.
licenses, their fees on their, I think their cost of running their programs to us is going to go up.
Exactly.
We're going to pay the fee one way or another.
Exactly. I think this is good.
They're going to go, okay, we need a $500 license. Well, it's not $25 a person anymore; it's $40.
How are we paying for this?
And our IT through licenses that where we budget the licenses at.
And you have money in there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
No, I'd be
we
happy
need a
to.
motion.
I'd have you make a motion to authorize first selectman to sign the license agreements.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All those in support say aye. Aye. Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you very much.
Director Rowland.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm here with a request to reinstate Kyle Young back to his original hire date of July 18th, 2022. Kyle had left us a few weeks ago for sunnier fields. He went to Stafford for a 25% pay increase. However, after his first week, he reached out to me and asked if it would be possible to come back. Things are not always better. Grass isn't always greener somewhere else. He missed the culture and his colleagues here. Their operation is very different than ours. So I said, well, I don't know. No one's ever asked me that before, so let me find out. Yeah, so I I called both foremen, and the highway foreman and the parks foreman, and said, well, what do you think? And they're absolutely. I mean, Kyle's got a great attitude. He smiles all the time. He's a great kid. Everybody loves him. He does a really good job
Is that a world's
plowing.
record for coming back?
Quickly.
Yeah, the door hit him on the way out.
We'd be glad to have him back. Kyle's he's kind of happy-go-lucky. He's great to have around. Gets along with everybody. He does a very good job. He's got one of the primary routes plowing, or did last year. And it would save us having to go through the process of hiring somebody else, vetting and advertising, vetting, and hiring somebody else.
And you got someone you know.
Well, he knows the
performs
deal.
well.
He can jump right back and be right back in the crew.
Yeah,
And
great.
this is the busiest time for
Like
the
he took a
park.
4-week vacation and
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think the only concern I have, though, is that. I mean, I'm not really in favor of a retroactive reinstatement. We've never done it before. It's not normal practice.
Right, we weren't sure. so
I mean, I think
that's-
we just make him an effective date of April 21st, 2025. I mean, we give him his job back,
Right.
which I think is pretty generous.
Agreed.
But, I mean, to do a retroactive date after, I mean, that's...
Wait, but it was such a short period of time. I'm just.
Yeah, what's the big deal?
it would mess with
His pension.
it would mess with certain calculations.
I don't think we can do it with the pension and stuff. Some of that's illegal.
I mean, he obviously wouldn't get credit for the 4 week, and there's no contributions and so forth.
He's not accruing.
It's like going on vacation for 4 weeks.
Yeah, but you officially accepted a resignation.
Yeah, that's
I know
not
we
a
did this
good
for Bob
precedent.
Wheeler, that's all I'm saying.
And why don't you talk to your labor attorney on that? I mean, I
Well,
don't
we did
know.
it for Bob Wheeler when he came back.
Well, I don't know
Well,
that
that was a
was...
contract negotiation.
That was a contract issue. We had to reinstate him within a year. It was in the
Yeah.
CBA.
Something.
Yeah.
I'm good either way.
CBA.
I mean, we can bring him back with a start date of April
Yeah, I mean,
That's the only
21st,
person I remember
2025
we did it for.
Yeah,
as
it's
a new
not gonna-
employee.
I think we do that as April 21st, 2025. I mean,
It's not going to change much either way. I mean, when we do it for the pension, we're just going to block out that window of time.
That's good.
You know?
okay.
As long as it works for him.
So I make a motion to reinstate Kyle Young with a higher date of April 21st, 2025 at the hourly rate of $24.02 to his position as a public works maintainer.
Was he receiving benefits?
Yes. So no big difference.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion on the motion? All those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
John.
Approval of the minutes. Kim, you made those changes, right?
Yes, it is.
Well, I wasn't here, so I don't know.
5 seconds.
Can't make an opinion on what I wasn't here to hear.
I mean, you weren't just sitting in Italy watching the meeting.
No, I was not. What day was that on?
It's a Thursday night.
It was a Thursday.
Yeah, I was probably drinking some wine and
Make a
having a
motion
nice meal.
to accept the minutes of the March 20th, 2025 regular meeting of the Board of Selectmen as presented.
I'll second that. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in support say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to
Okay.
adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Adjourn.
Thank you.